If you've been having trouble like I have where I can't get the temperature to change inside the cabin, inside the vehicle itself, it's just stuck at one temperature, although it shows it's different. But this is probably the video for you. This is on a Ford Flex. This is a 2011, but it probably works on most of them, if not all of them, I'm sure. And this panel here where your knees are, we're gonna have to take this off to access our little actuators. There's a couple little bolts or screws, whatever you want to call them. There's a second one on this side, and then there's one just behind your hood release, right there. So we have to get those off so we can get this panel out. And I'm using a little thumb drive or finger drive. It's ratcheting. It's a 1/4 inch. I love these little guys. They work really nice. I'll put a link in the description to all the tools that I use. The socket's a 7mm, by the way. I'll let you know what all the socket sizes are. So I'm going to take this guy out. It's coming off pretty easy. They're not super tight. They're not very long either. You can see that. Now we'll do this next one here behind the hood release. I'll put some skippable chapters in the description as well, so maybe you've already figured out a certain part of this, or you want to go to the next part instead of seeing and giving you the whole step by step. And we'll get this last one off of here too. So once you got those off, the bottom should be loose. It's just held in with 3 tabs on top. I'll show you what they look like. 1, 2, they go in these little holes, square holes. And there's one on the very right side as well. Put that somewhere safe. And now we'll be able to see what we're up against here. Now if we look in our hole to the right, this doohickey here, that is your actuator for the heat on this side, heat and cold. And there's a connector and a clip. So I'll show you how this clip works. There's a little tab there that has to be moved first before the clip can be undone. I'll just show it here. So you see this tab on the top here. It'll be pushed in, so you just have to pop it out. It only comes out a little ways, and then it'll give you access to this other place here where you can press down and it'll undo a clip. You'll press it and hold it and try and pull it off. I'll show you how this works here. So just press that and it unlocks the tab. Once you have that out, that's about the easiest part of this whole thing. There it is. It's only held in with 2 bolts, little baby guys. There's one there and there's one here. You're gonna have to be upside down underneath trying to get your head in to see this. You want to make yourself a little extra room. So our steering column, there's a couple plastic pieces here that we'll want to take off. They're held in with 3 bolts and screws. I think it's 2 screws and a bolt. So that's just a Phillips head. So that's easy enough. We'll take that off as first. You may want to move the tilt up or down if you have tilt in yours. Get this first one out. Again, that's just and the second one. Maybe want to use a mirror to see what's in there and where it is. Because it's a pretty big hole, but it's a very small little bolt. Can't really show you here, but we'll get this other screw off. Trust me, this extra work is going to be worth it. It's going to give a lot better access. Why not give me the thumbs up while you're at it, please? Probably learned something already from this short video. And I'm going to show you how to put it all back together after. But this did work for me, and it'll work for you as well if this is your problem. On the ignition, there's this rubber ring around here that you have to pop out. It's going to make this bottom piece come off, a lot easier. In fact, you're pretty much not going to get it out without this ring being gone. I'll show you how to put that back in as well. So we still have, I think, a screw here yet that's hanging on. To pry that apart too. Let's go back under here. So we've got this screw. Take this all the way out. was trying to just get it all loose by not taking the screw out. That was my whole thought there, loosen it. And it's still hanging on by something. There's one in here. Now this is going to take a 7mm socket to get it out. I don't know why they didn't just have them all like a socket to take it off, or all the Phillips screw heads, or I don't know what they were thinking, but probably they were thinking you just need more tools. So pop this out and we'll move on to the next part of it. And you might have to give this a tap, and there it fell out. There it is, see? This should just come apart. It's just basically clipped together. I'll show you on this side with a couple little fingers. There you go. Never would figure that out. That's what it looks like. Set that aside somewhere where I won't break it. I don't want to break that. I'm sure it's worth a few bucks. Back underneath, now I can get my hand in through the top here as well as from the bottom. I'll show you what this piece looks like now. So this, I'm using a little socket to try and get it out. And the socket, I'll tell you what the size is here right away. Not a whole lot of room here either. I think when they put these things together, it's the heating, it's an 8mm bolt. The whole heat recovery system of the HVAC system is put in, and then they put the steering wheel in and the dashboard and all that stuff after. What they ended up doing is using a extension that was a flex. As you can see here, a lot easier to do, a lot more room to do it. Otherwise, you're against whatever this other piece is. I don't know if it's a brake switch or something like that. So you can just barely get my fingers in there. What I'm trying to do is just grab it out, and there you go. So I got them both out, and there it is. I'm going to show you how this works in a second. You'll want to know if it works. First of all, you want to test it. So I put a little mark there that lines up with the arrow on the actual housing, because you'll want to know exactly how it was sitting, because it's got to go back in the same way. So you want to change your heating. It's a little colder, a little warmer, and this should move. It may not move right away because there could be a delay. Just with, I don't understand exactly how the system works compared to a normal one, where literally, you know, as you turn something up, it turns it up right away, or turn it down. There's a delay in these, probably to compensate for temperatures or something. So I noticed sometimes it would be a delay, but it would work. So at least you'll know if you take your motor out and you plug it back in and have it sitting like that, and you do change your temperature and it works, then this isn't probably your problem. Although you'd want to do it under load, like hold that white little piece and get it to go back and forth, because a lot of times the gears are just stripped slightly, and because of the extra load of trying to open that blend door, it'll just sit there and the gears will go click, click, click. If you haven't heard those clicks before, maybe this motor's just burned out. Anyway, try to set this one up to where originally it was sitting, because when we plug that back in, the teeth have to line up properly. And you notice there's 3 or 4 teeth that are actually missing. It's just the way it's built. So you want it to line up properly. And once the motor, if you want to try and put it back in, there's a couple little guides there, little fingers that it has to sit in. This is probably going to be the hardest thing to try and get this little motor, your new motor, in properly. Get everything to line up. And because it's such limited space, you probably could have sore arms and sore fingers and sore back, sore neck. And I really think I probably couldn't have done it without this flexible extension. Try and see if I can find one, put a link in the description for that as well. This is just a 1/4 inch one. So once I got that first screw back in, I tried to put the other one in by hand, just kind of get it threaded just a little bit. If I can get it sitting in there, then I can start to get my socket again and just try and tighten her up. Lots of balancing. It's a little tough too when I'm trying to record it and for you to see what we're doing. There's so much stuff in the way, I'm really sorry that I couldn't get a better shot of it than that. But you understand how this is working, how it's going back together. You want to make sure too that the wires are plugged back in. This thing should tighten it up fairly snug. Shouldn't have to really force anything. You want to run the engine and check the temperature and make sure you're getting air conditioning, and then when you turn it to heat, you're getting heat. So you don't want to put all this stuff back together and find out, oh, something is wrong. Now we're going to try and put back together the steering column, the plastic around that, and you'll see there's little holes and little fingers that has to all line up before we screw everything back together. There's only a couple screws holding it together, so everything's got to line up perfectly. So I'm going to try and sit it in there, get it around. Of course, we've got that adjuster there for your tilt as well. Try and sit it in there and then hold the top side with my other hand and get it all to line up. Hopefully this is going to work. This is where one of the screws is going to be going in. A lot easier when you have two hands that are free and you're not trying to hold a camera. Maybe the other free hand you can use a light. So I want to make sure I put it in the right way. It's only going to go in one way anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Once I can get maybe a couple screws in or one screw in first, and I'm not going to make it too tight, just want to get it to hold there. So I get some of the other screws in as well. You may have to move this piece around left and right a little bit, but it's totally doable. I'll tighten that up, snug it up once I get the top part on there as well. What am I trying to show you now? Oh, a couple more screws. Once we get all that done. I must say it was nice to have the air conditioning working again, because we've had a warm summer. You wanted air conditioning for sure. Even up here in Canada, it wasn't as bad as maybe Texas or something, but it was still, you needed air conditioning. So it looks like I snugged all that up. I'll speed it up a little bit, get to this side. Still have the little rubber ring to put in. It's basically really kind of like a trim ring. If you really need it in there, possibly not, but I'm going to put it back in. It's got a little ridge so that one half of it sits on the outside and the other half sits on the inside. Easy enough to do. Now, I had to loosen it up a little bit more to try and get it in there, because it was sitting too close to the ignition, and there was no way I was going to get that ring back in. Not easily. So I'll try and put it in there. Looks like it's going to sit. Pop it back up. That'll actually kind of hold it up in there now, which will be a help. And then I'm going to try and clamp this top part back down. Remember, those little fingers that have to go in little holes. It clicks together fairly tight as well, so once you get it in there, it should be good. Now we can work on some more screws. Is there one screw left we've got to put in there that holds that all together? I think there is. Tighten that one up. And I think we're probably done. Play around with the tilt here, get it to where I want it to sit. And it's looking good. Now there's this bottom part, we have to put this kick panel back together, right? There's those tabs that are going to go in these holes, right? There's 3 of them on the top. So we're going to get that piece. We're going to slip those tabs into those holes on the top first. Might have to give it a little tap to get it to lock into place. And then once we have the top locked into place, we can put the screws back in the bottom, the 3 screws. Remember, there's one behind this hood latch. Just want to snug them up. And where are those screws now? Here's one of them. Remember, it's a 7mm now. I don't know why they have 2 different sizes. Wouldn't it just be easier to have one size, a bunch of the screws, because they all seem to have similar kind of thread. Put this one in here too. Hopefully this has been helpful. Got a few more videos on this Ford Flex. Actually, I've got quite a few videos in some repair playlists. Actually, here's one in the top right-hand corner for the Flex. You click on the card there and it'll bring you to it. In case you need some more ideas as to how to fix it, you can also subscribe if you like. Get these all done, and I think our time together is well spent. Thanks for watching.